It's your boy Jeameave back here in Views from the Heart, and today I got a 2019 QX50 all-wheel drive with the Essential trim, courtesy of South Bay Infiniti. Once again, thank you guys so much to my guy Luis and my guy Will for this wonderful opportunity. I appreciate you guys so much. And like I said, this is an Infiniti QX50. It started basically 2017 essentially in a sense, and then they skipped 2018, and then they brought it back again with 2019 for a complete overall redesign both on the exterior and interior. And boy, let me tell you, this trim right now, this interior is honestly one of the best interiors I personally ever sat in. Once I show it to you guys, you're gonna be like, this is nice, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, this is would be considered one of Infiniti's best-selling vehicles, or actually Infiniti's best-selling vehicle at the moment, and I'm eager to see how it drives. It even has a continuously variable transmission, a CVT. I've never driven a CVT before, so I'm kind of eager to see how it feels, as well as it's pushing a turbocharged 2-liter inline-4 with 268 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. So let's go on and take this bad boy on a spin. Let's see how it drives. So what's it like driving a 2019 Infiniti QX50 all-wheel drive with the Essential trim? Well, I can tell you right, I have it in sport mode right now, and it's honestly pretty peppy. It's only, it has 250 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. It's actually really comfortable, and like I said, this is something that is engaging. A lot of people are trending towards, at least in America anyways, that the market is dictating that people want these crossovers, these kind of compact SUVs with a little bit of sportiness in mind. And honestly, I'm just I'm astonished at this interior. This is honestly one of the best interiors I've personally sat in, and it's kind of surprising to me because it's coming from something that is not really made with luxury in mind, you know? It's kind of just there, and I think it's really cool that they added something like this that has this sort of opulence with this sort of package. You have a panoramic roof, which looks glorious. Honestly, like, I'm blown away by what this car is offering. And Will, please remind the audience again of what would someone expect to pay out the door for something like this?
Fully loaded.
This, everything you see in here, this exact vehicle, comparable with all the amenities that you see before you, what would someone pay out the door right now?
At store pricing, they're around 54.
that is incredible to me, because like I said, this is something, this sort of interior, and in my honest opinion, is something that you'd expect out of at least a good tier above in terms of what you would pay or expect to pay. I mean, you have like Alcantara headlining, you got suede on the dash, you have this like marble-esque sort of, I mean, design language over here. Like, it's overall, it's so aesthetically pleasing that I'm really blown away by what Infiniti is offering in here. And the only thing is, like I said, it does have a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4. I would love to see if they were to make like a sportier trim that maybe had the Q60S engine. I liked the engine in that vehicle. I just wasn't a fan of the steering, and because it had the fly-by-wire steering, and that was just well, lackluster to say the least. But in here, I do not believe this has that exact steering. It's still not exactly where I'd want it to be, but it feels, I'm in sport mode right now, and it just feels just a little bit more communicative to me through the road. And overall, I'm really pleasantly blown away. These seats are extremely comfortable. The visibility throughout this vehicle is adequate. It's really good. I'm really finding a hard time to really even talk about like what I would not, like what bothers me in this vehicle. And I honestly can't really tell, other than the fact that I would love to see, you know, more horsepower in here, but I mean, who really doesn't? But even then, you know, I am in southern Los Angeles and low-key rush hour traffic right now, so I can't even really push it like that. I wish I could, but as you can see, I'm in bumper to bumper. But it does also have a CVT, a continuously variable transmission. And essentially what that boils down to is, I'm not an expert on what exactly it is. I can't really explain the ins and outs of it, but what I can tell you from a first impression is that essentially it has no gears. Yeah, yes, you heard me right. This is not change gears. It's kind of sort of like an electric vehicle. You kind of just press the pedal and the engine kind of just goes. It's really weird because when you first turn it on and you put it from park into drive, you're used to, at least if you're used to a transmission, you kind of feel that little clunk, or there's some sort of feedback that'll tell you that it's now in drive. And here, when you press it, there's no feedback. There's no sort of anything, even though you're in drive, and you don't notice that, and that's weird, especially considering because you would attribute that and compare that to something that has a all electric powertrain. This is an internal combustion engine, and it's cool. You know, like I said, this is actually this sort of transmission technology is what's going to be ubiquitous in the future. There's rarely going to be any sort of gears, anything like that. And come to mention it, one of the fastest cars in the world, the Koenigsegg Regera, actually has a CVT. Just think about it a moment. A hypercar, a car that's, anytime you think of a hypercar, it's meant to be the best and most engaging experience driving wise. But see, listen to that. Like, there's no gear, there's no physical feedback in the gear changes. That's so weird. That's so weird. You just hear the engine going and going and going. But it's cool. It has a nice little pep for it. This is all-wheel drive and has a curb weight of just under 4,000 pounds. It is actually 3,957 pounds. And honestly, this 260 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque is adequate. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's because due to transmission, how it's keeping it in the power band or what. Because like I said, this is my first time feeling a CVT. It's really hard to convey what it feels like, other than trying to compare it to like perhaps an electric car. That's the only thing I can compare it to, because it's nothing like a regular transmission. You don't feel gears in succession, you don't feel downshifts, you just feel, well, you don't feel anything, which is kind of cool. And so you go, like, there is no downshift, and wow, that's actually pretty fast. That I like this. I really do. Will, I'm surprised. I really do like this. Will, would you own this, my good man?
I will. I'm actually thinking of purchasing it.
I do not blame you at all. I mean, would I own this vehicle? Honestly, absolutely. I really would. The interior is amazing. The seats are comfortable. The transmission is different, but it's not a negative in my opinion. It just feels interesting. It's a little quirky in terms of like how, like I said, when you're so used to something for so long and new technology is introduced to you, it just feels kind of alien. But it's not necessarily a negative either. It's just bull and belected. You know, it's calm. And like I said, the design language on the exterior, actually really enjoy. I love Infiniti's design language now. I feel like Infiniti finally hit something to where they can say, you look at Infiniti, you know it's an Infiniti. There's no really anything in between. You kind of know that the design language is the precipice of what this Japanese car company is trying to offer. It's unique. Obviously it's not for everyone, but personally I like different and I like unique, and this is both different and unique. I mean, there's not really any other thing on the road that you can say looks or feels like this. And like I said, I've driven many cars before, but yet I'm very impressed again by this interior. You have suede like Alcantara right here. Like, comfortable. Just look at that. You touch, boy, that's sexy. Just look at that. I mean, it honestly is. It honestly is. Please go. Come on, fam. All right, thank you. And here it is, another Infiniti. And you know, like I said, I've been an ardent critic of Infiniti before, and what I always try to stress to my viewers is just, if you have, you know, remissions or doubts or just misconceptions about something, whether that be anyone or anything, just experience it, and then you can be well more rounded in terms of whatever grievances you may or may not have, because the grievances you may have had before may not even exist after the fact. And I can honestly say that I really do enjoy this car. I love this car. Would I buy this car? Absolutely. I feel like this is something that is perfect for startup families, people that have like 2 kids. It's not the biggest, but it's compact, it's concise, and it's not too big. It's something that you can fit in reasonably any parking spot and not have trouble, or you're like, am I gonna fit? Nah, it's an ideal size. And honestly, like I said, this is a really compelling package. And just overall this interior, and just knowing you could get this for $54,000 out the door. out the door. One more, like what more could you possibly want? It's just nice. I'm gonna do one more pull over here, like so you can listen. Just listen. Like it's weird. It's no game. There's no gear changes. That's just me hitting it to redline and then the transmission doing what it's doing, and then just, you know, not even upshifting. It's just going. It's weird, but it's fun and it's quaint, and I enjoy it. I like it, and overall, like I said, this is something that I would definitely own. I do highly recommend this vehicle. Once again, thank you so much to South Bay Infiniti for this opportunity, and my guy riding with me, my guy Will riding with me shotgun. If you guys need any Infiniti or have any Infiniti questions, please reach out to my guy Will. Where can they reach you at, my good man?
Just text me or give me a call. Phone number is 323-491-3975.
Well, you heard it here first. Once again, this experience is courtesy of South Bay Infiniti right here in Torrance, California. Also, one more thing I'd like to add to it. This does have a heads-up display. It's actually very visible to the driving occupant, but I feel like my camera would have it would be hard for the camera to pick it up because it's not as vibrant as I would expect, but it's visible enough, like it's adequate. I'm surprised it doesn't show the speed limit. That's interesting because every other heads-up display I personally experienced shows the speed limit along with the current speed you're going. But hey, who cares, you know? I mean, realistically speaking, you only have 260 horsepower. If you're flying in here, well, I mean, where you going? Like, you're not going that fast anyway. It's adequate horsepower, it's adequate speed, it's good enough. It's good enough for you to do your overtakes and anything of that nature. And like I said, I pleasantly really enjoyed this vehicle. I would definitely personally own this, and I'm just really blown away by the interior offered in here. I honestly, I find this interior better than the Q60S in my opinion. Now, that's just my personal opinion, but it feels a little bit more premium to me, and that's really hard to do because you have cross stitching on the dash with white on the black, cross stitching. Just overall, a pleasant vehicle to drive. It's comfortable. The ride is a little bit more sporty. Like I said, I am a sport. It's not the most supple ride, but it's still comfortable. It doesn't beat you up. And overall, I highly recommend the QX50, especially if you can afford and get this trim. Get this trim. I mean, just look at it. I wish my car had something like this. Like, come on, you got everything. The only thing I could probably say is if you have, you know, young kids and they're messy, yeah, you might need some car seats or something, because if you mess this up, boy. But either way, again, this is the boy Jeameave, the Views from the Heart. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, I actually love this QX50 all-wheel drive with this essential trim. And like I said, just like my guy Will said, you could get this exact model for about $54,000 out the door, and that's, to me, is a very compelling package and a very compelling deal. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.